Hey, it's Sean from GeekBuilders, and we're back again with another test drive. The company Elegoo reached out to me recently and asked if I wanted to review one of their new products. Now, you might know them from their really popular electronics kits like this, or the Mars Resin 3D printer that has gotten really popular over the last couple months. But this product is a little bit different. This is intended as kind of like a STEM education kit, and it's an Arduino-powered PenguinBot. Now, I have a really vested interest in this because during my day job, I'm a computer science teacher, and I'm always looking for projects like this that would be really good for my students, but I'm also a father. So I'm also looking for projects like this that would be good for my kids that we could do together. So let's go ahead and open it and see what's inside and start putting it together. Inside the box, it looks like we have some different faces for the Penguin itself. A small little CD disc, looks like drivers for the Arduino board. Some colorful step-by-step instructions. This will be really helpful, especially because this is geared for kids 10 and up. Some promotional material. And we have 3 individually packed boxes. Let's go ahead and take these out. We have our Arduino board. Looks almost like an Arduino Uno architecture, although it's kind of custom made. We'll look at that a little bit later. Some laser cut pieces, tweezers, our USB connection cable, screwdriver, remote, so I guess we have a remote control. It'll control the PenguinBot, probably with some different functions and routines we can make it run. Looks like an ultrasonic sensor, some servos, and then a whole lot of connections, screws, and other goodies. So I'm going to set these to the side. We're going to start taking a look at the directions and putting it together. I'm not going to be doing a step-by-step instruction guide for how to put it together. The instructions are pretty good and clear, but I will show a little bit of a montage of me putting it together and then do kind of a final review of it after and get my thoughts on it as far as a STEM project for kids and possibly even in the classroom. So let's do that. Alright, so I finally finished peeling all the acrylic pieces and they look really nice. They are a very high quality cut and they should look really nice on the project. On the other hand, it took about 20 minutes at least to peel all those acrylic pieces. I think with this many acrylic pieces, the best thing to do is to organize a little bit and make the build go a little bit faster. So we'll do that Lego tactic where we knoll a little bit and put all the light pieces together. We have a couple of these, looks like brackets of some kind, but then there's different size holes. There are the feet. Those are done. And I'm hoping that this was an extra because I broke one. So that's one thing you have to kind of watch out for. The acrylic pieces aren't really brittle, but because you're screwing into them and there's a lot of force, they can crack pretty easily. So I'm hoping I don't have to repair that one. I was wondering why this kit came with tweezers. Now I know. Look at the size of that. The camera will even pick it up. That is a small little screw nut. It has to be mounted on the back of, where'd it go? There. That is small. I don't even know how I got those two on. I still have one more to do. Alright, so I just finished the feet and the servos are attached and it's going to be the connection to the body for the legs so it can walk. And I just got to the point where I opened up the main board. Now this is really interesting. I thought this was an Arduino Uno and there might be some aspects of it still built in here. but there is a micro SD that's already in there that probably has the code, I'm assuming, for the movements, but it looks like it's a custom board as well. And it is a custom PCB PenguinBot board from Elegoo, and it looks like there's some built-in sensors here. Now if you buy one of these, be careful, because my header right there was bent a little bit, and you have to be really careful bending those back into place, otherwise you might break a connection and you might have to resolder the joint, and I know a lot of people aren't comfortable doing that, so please just kind of watch out for that when you open the package, and handle the board with care when you get it as well. And then we have a manual switch right there for, I'm assuming for power, but we'll find out in a couple minutes. And that almost looks like an IR port. So I'm going to be connecting the servos and getting everything started up here. So let's do that. Well, after about 2 hours, the build is done. A good part of that time was spent just peeling off the protective layer off the black acrylic, which is kind of a pain, but I kind of appreciate it at the same time. It kept the pieces looking nice, and here it is. The end product is pretty nice. You have some nice articulated feet here, you have some articulated hips, and you have an ultrasonic sensor on the front for some additional function. The top stays open for the most part, so you can see the inside, you can see the speakers, you can see the batteries, and of course the board down below. You have an IR sensor for the remote, and a simple based remote that comes with a lot of electronics like this, and you have an on and off toggle switch on the bottom. The startup is also kind of fun. Has this little startup sequence. And of course, the basic functions for walking. Some nice things about the build is they came with extra parts. The black acrylic pieces are pretty nice and they're fairly sturdy, but I still did manage to break one when I was putting it together. And they have a couple extra pieces in the box that makes it really nice in case that does happen. The box says this is intended for ages 10 and up. If your kid has a lot of experience playing with Legos or putting things together, they might do okay with it. But this is a very different type of build than a lot of those early ones that a lot of kids end up doing. Not only because of the dexterity in putting this together, but also the delicacy of dealing with some electronics like this where it's really easy to damage something. When I pulled this out of the box, I had one of the sensors on the bottom that was bent and I had to be really careful to bend it back into position so I didn't break any of the leads. If your kid has a lot of experience putting together or working with electronics, that's great. This is probably really good for them. If they don't have that experience, then it's a great opportunity to learn and becomes a really good project for a parent and a child to work with together. Especially with working with really, really small parts. There are some very, very tiny parts on this that even I had to be really careful with and take my time with. The construction is really cool. Most of it is just screws and nuts, but it also has this kind of captive nut system for holding everything and pulling everything together. I didn't have any trouble with the way things fit. I did have to wrangle the wires a little bit on the inside, but everything fit just fine and worked exactly as intended. It uses a 4 servo system for movement. You have 2 on the legs that articulate the ankles, and you have 2 on the hips up here. And then the ultrasonic sensor on the front that they've actually worked into part of the design to make it look like a face with a little smile right there, which I think makes it even more fun and whimsical for kids. A lot of people may not like the exposed wires on the front, although I kind of like it. I like seeing how things are put together. But it also has all these different kind of faces that you could put over the top to kind of decorate and give the robot a little bit more personality. And there's even a couple blank ones here that the kids can color and decorate on their own. The board itself also has a micro USB port, so you can do some of your own programs or some of your own routines. And it even comes with a micro SD card to hold and store some of those routines. I have not tested that out yet, but I probably will at a later time. So I think this is a great project. Elegoo did a great job in putting this together. They really thought it through, and I do highly recommend this. Well, that wraps up this build. I hope you enjoyed this test drive. We should have a couple more coming in the next few months. But in the meantime, please subscribe, follow, share out the video, and hit that notification bell so you can see whenever we release a new video. We also have a Patreon with new rewards being posted almost every month, and we also have t-shirts for sale in the shop. Every little bit helps. All of your support helps the show keep going, and we appreciate it so much. Thanks. I'll see you next time.